Hey guys, Ben here, Wishings Fitness. So I want to talk to you a little bit about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and a lot of people are going to be dealing with soon at Wishings Fitness, because you're training for something, you're doing something which is very hard. You're training for something called high rocks, and I've been thinking a lot about what's going to happen to you guys when you have to let go of this level of fitness and this level of training. And I want to pre-warn you. And this is actually, I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's not just for people who are training for high rocks. This is people who have had to let go of a certain level of performance. That doesn't necessarily mean physical performance. That could be mental performance. So if you're going through the menopause, this might be relevant to you, because you have to deal with dropping down a level of mental performance sometimes. Now, my coach, I am part of Strategic Coach, and I get coached by somebody called Dan Sullivan, and he talks about the gap and the gain. This is his concept. So the gap is when we compare ourselves against something we are not there yet, or maybe you're looking back and you're looking back at an ability that you used to have, like at a performance level you used to have. And when we focus on the gap between where we are now and where we wish we were, it's very negative, and it's very depressing, and it's very demotivating. And if you don't recognize that you're in the gap, then it's very easy to give up on yourself. And I've seen it happen, and I'm seeing it with a few people. So that's why I want to make this video. Now, it's not your fault that you're in the gap. It's human nature, but it is your fault if you stay in the gap after understanding this process, this video, and you don't do anything about it. Okay, so this is about how you can get out of that gap. Now, I've been through this. This is a well-known thing. So there's something called the post-Ironman blues. So I was at a level of fitness not too long ago, a couple of years ago, where I was able to complete an Ironman. And there's a well-known thing after that, which is called the post-Ironman blues, where people, they do an Ironman, they're psyched, they're like, oh, I was so good. But then they didn't get the time they wanted, or something went wrong, they weren't quite happy with it. And then they feel like a lack of purpose, like, what am I doing? Why am I training so much? And they think it's because they don't have another event in the diary. And they're like, immediately I need to sign up for another event. And they go through their lives like never quite been happy with what they've achieved. And also always having this next event in the diary. It's something they have to train for, and they have to be pushing themselves all the time. And inevitably they get burnt out, or they get injured. And other parts of their life start to suffer. So maybe it's family and relationships. Maybe it's maybe they completely give up on themselves and put on a lot of weight. And I've seen that happen as well. So that's what can happen when you are in the gap about what you've achieved. Now, imagine you've just completed an Ironman or incredible event, and it doesn't have to be a physical thing. It can be could be a business thing. It could be something you've achieved in your personal life, in your professional life. And you externally, if someone was looking at you, they'd go, bloody hell, that's fucking amazing. You've just completed an Ironman, or you've just closed this deal, or you've just had a kid, or whatever it is, like something really incredible. Like, they look at you and think, wow. But you are looking at you thinking, I'm in the gap here, or this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. And you're both right, but it's one person's perception versus the other. And one of them is good because it's gain and it's very positive. And when you feel positive, you are motivated and you want to do stuff, and you're going to look after yourself. And, it's generally a good thing because you're looking at the gain that you've had. And the other one is the gap, where you're miserable and depressed and not feeling good. Okay, so that is, I hope I've done it justice. That is the gap and the gain. So high rocksers, people who are training at the moment for an event, you're about to reach an incredible level of fitness that you may not have reached before, and you're going to do an event, and you get to choose how you respond to that event. You get to respond, you get to choose how you interpret it. You might have a great event and it might go all as planned, and you'll be happy with that. But I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 of you, that is not going to be the case. The event is not going to go as you planned. There are going to be problems because such is life. And you're going to come out of it and then you're going to be in the gap. And you may be thinking, well, I'm just going to immediately sign up for another one. And you're going to keep training at the same level of intensity that you've been doing. And you're then going to develop an injury. And then, or you're going to burn out emotionally and mentally. And then, what are the implications of that? Well, you've got an injury. That could be a life-changing injury. It could be detrimental to your family, to your relationships. So think about it. Do the event. However it goes, something's probably going to go wrong. 90% of you, something's going to go wrong. Hopefully it's not an injury, but something will go wrong. But you get to choose how you interpret it. Think about the gains of having done the training, committed to the event. Like, how has that changed you? What did you learn? Like, even if you get injured, even if it's like the worst thing in the world, there's still something you learned from that. And that's where you take the gains. And that is about your mindset. So be aware of it. And I hope you have a great event. I hope you do really well, of course. But more importantly, I just hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a great time, because it's about the gains from doing the training, from committing yourself. And remember, it's just human nature. So how do you get yourself out of it? Grab a journal. 3 positive things a day at least. And if you're doing Hyrox or you're doing an event, maybe you can journal around that event specifically. And that's how you keep it positive. And people talk about the power of positivity. Well, there it is. You've got to redefine what these things mean to you, because it is just a matter of perception. I hope the video helps you think about what you're thinking about, and have a think about why you do these things. Like, what's the long term? Where are we really going with this? Is it just about the event, or does our ego want us to be able to talk about the event? Well, of course, and that's okay. But I want to be living to 100, 150, maybe even 200 years old. That's my long-term goal. So anything I do is about, I want to live for a long time. I want to live with high energy. I want to live in good health. So I'm not going to sacrifice anything now, which is going to affect my long-term. But we do, because our ego gets the best of us sometimes. Like I said, it's not your fault. It's just human nature, and it's something you need to know about and be aware of. But now you know about it, do something about it. Don't just go, it's my ego. Oh, I'm in the gap. Recognize you're there and move on. You can rewatch this video. You can go and look at other videos. Just type in gap and gain and you'll find it. And if you need anything, just give us a shout. Love to hear your comments below. Thanks for watching.